Let's look at how to calculate confidence intervals for proportions using an online calculator. Now, first of all, what's a confidence interval for a proportion? This is what we see during elections when it says, oh, 52% of people say they're going to vote for candidate A and 48% say they're going to vote for candidate B. And then they often have an uncertainty limit, and that is the 95% confidence interval that depends on how many people are going to vote for them. So one of the easiest way is to use a confidence interval for proportions calculator online, and that's easier than using Excel. So you just Google confidence interval for proportions calculator, something like that. And here's one that comes up that's pretty easy to use. So let's use the example of, let's say there's an election coming up, and the candidate that's leading, they say that 52% of the people are going to vote for that candidate. So what we need to do, so that 52% is based on a survey. We need to know what proportion of what size the sample is, so we can be how certain it is. Now let's suppose that it's based on just 200 people, and so we enter sample size here, and the observed proportion in percent is 52. So 52% say they're going to vote for some candidate. What is going to be the confidence interval? We just press calculate, and it says the sample size with 200 and with an observed proportion 52%, the confidence interval is 6.92%. So that means that we can be pretty sure between 45 and 58% or 59% of the population is going to vote for the candidate. Ooh, that's a pretty big margin of error. So that's why they generally don't do samples of just 200. The most typical size sample they do is about 1,000. So let's type in a sample size of 1,000. And let's say that it still comes out to 52. 52% say they're going to vote for that candidate. And we do calculate. And now the confidence interval goes down to 3.1. So there the confidence interval goes 48.9% to 55.1%. So it's not sure that the candidate with 52% is going to get the majority. And so that's why sometimes they say on the news that it's a statistical dead heat. The two candidates are neck and neck. We can't tell who's going to win. And that means they can't be 95% sure that if it's 52% versus 48%, that the candidate with 52% is going to win, because that candidate might only get 48.9%. And if the other candidate had 48%, let's press enter, they could actually get from 44.9% to 51.1%. So they could get the majority. So with a sample of 1,000 and a really close race, we can't be sure of who's going to win, but we're a lot, if it's anything more drastic, let's say it was 55% for the candidate, we calculate that, we'll see that the confidence interval would range from about 52 to 58, and we could be pretty sure that candidate with a 55% lead would win. So this is how we calculate confidence intervals for proportions using an online confidence interval calculator for proportion.